If y'all like that subject, like up the stream, like it up. See y'all coming in. Hey, what's going on? All right, so Think and Grow Rich. It's a lot. Hey, we on YouTube too. Hey guys, what's going on? All right, so it's a lot. There's a lot of business people on this app, right? Over on TikTok, YouTube too, right? We selling our courses. We on TikTok shop, right? We got a lot of things. It's some of us that haven't quite jumped in to it yet. If y'all, get a chance, go to my profile. I do have a course, right, that they're talking about a lot, right? This live is not about that, right? So don't get scared off about it. This is just basic. Like, we're getting our minds right, okay? We're getting our financial minds right, okay? Whether you have an opportunity that you're promoting, whether you want to have an opportunity that you promote, or whether that's not even your thing, whether you just want to increase your finances, whether you want to get, out of debt, right? Pay some bills, just, leave your 9 to 5, whatever it is, right? We have goals, okay? We got goals. This book, I'm sure you're probably familiar with it. Think and Grow Rich. If you are ready to do more of a deep dive into this book, like up the stream. We got a like. Let's go. Thank you so much. See y'all joining. Let's go. All right. So this book has been around for a long time, y'all. Written in 1939. Before I get into it, let me just say I have and we have started this live workshop series of Study and Think and Grow Rich probably a month or so ago, right? So this is, I don't know, it's probably like the 4th episode that we're doing. If you want to see the recorded episodes, check it out on YouTube at Wealth with Tia. Okay, that's my other, I got a few, channels. This is my solar alignment. We do talk about money, but this is my like metaphysical channel. But you'll get the goods here. But if you want to see the replays and things like that, check that out at Wealth with Tia on YouTube. So this is our 4th installment. We are actually, we're still in the beginning of the book though, y'all. It's a big book. Think and Grow Rich. We are in chapter 1, which is the introduction. This book, y'all, was written in 1939. Okay, by Napoleon Hill. You may already know a little bit of the history about it. This is a book that was studied by the incomparable Bob Proctor for about 60 years. Did you hear me? For about 60 years, y'all. So he was introduced to this book, Bob Proctor, when he was in his 20s. I think he was about 26. And according to him, he didn't put it down ever since, right? Rest in power. He passed away, I guess a couple years ago now, Bob Proctor. But he studied this book a lot. And as you may know, he did become a millionaire. When he first started studying Think and Grow Rich, he was earning $4,000 per year. I say year. That this was a long time ago. But by the time he worked with a mentor, but the mentor was telling him, read this book, man. He said he read it every day. He had a copy of it that was so tattered and, but he would read it every day. He would read it all the time. And he said by the end of the first year in reading Think and Grow Rich, going over it over and over and over again, his finances got up to about $100,000, maybe $85,000, something like that, right? And then within 5 years, he was a millionaire. And this was years ago, right? So imagine what you can do if you continuously study this book, Think and Grow Rich, right? Okay. Imagine what you could do with it. So that's what we're doing right now. And we're going to finish up the first chapter. All right. I'm not sure if I'm going to go into the second one tonight, but Lord willing, we'll at least get to do that. All right. So welcome. Come on in. My name is BatiYah Yisrael. And if you like this topic, like up the stream and let's go. All right. Follow along, all that good stuff. All right, so let's pause this music un momento. Por favor. That's about all the Spanish I know. All right, y'all. Think and Grow Rich. So I'll catch y'all up a little bit from where we are. So basically, we're on page 29 of the book that I'm using. And Think and Grow Rich, y'all. Y'all can get this on audio, listen to it for free. Online. Y'all can go to the tube, right? You can, buy a copy, anywhere online, right? Amazon. You can get a free, probably download somewhere. You probably give your email or something like that. If I had one available, you surely can get one for me. I don't have one just yet, but it may be coming. But I was praying about my finances one day, right? I'm doing a lot of endeavors and I work and I'm a hard worker and all that, right? But I have bills, right? And just like everybody else. And even if you start a business, I have a t-shirt brand. I'm wearing one of my t-shirts right now. It's called BatiYah Yisrael. Okay, you can also follow that and check me out there. And it's metaphysical, right? So when you wear our sportswear, you're expressing your love and oneness for the universe, right? And so, but all that, when you're starting a brand and all that stuff, it takes money, it takes finances, right? And so I was praying about that and talking to Source and I'm higher self and all that good stuff one day before the start of this series. And less than 24 hours later, I saw a lot of kind of a list of things that I needed to do, and one of those was to study this book. I had came upon Bob Proctor in a video, and he was just saying how he studied it over and over and over and over again, Think and Grow Rich, and he thought, he applied, and he grew rich. And I said, okay, God, I hear you. Okay, Source, I hear you. And that's what started this, live workshop that I'm doing. Okay, so I appreciate you being here, and let's get into the rest of the first chapter. All right. So let's go back a little bit from where we had, picked off and left off before, and we'll pick up. All right. So when you begin to think and grow rich, you will observe that riches begin with a state of mind, with definiteness of purpose, with little or no hard work. Really. Tell that to the people who are working their fingers to the bone, as they say, for all this money, or seem to be working and not getting the riches. How about that? But what Napoleon Hill is telling us after studying, hundreds and hundreds of, rich people, right, for this book. He spent 25 years of research on it. And he actually says this, and 25,000 people, pardon me, right? What he's telling us is riches begin with a state of mind. It begins with a state of mind. Okay. I know y'all heard, you probably heard of like the manifestation and all this stuff. Even prayer, right, is a form of manifestation. But it has to start with a state of mind. How many people, even in their religious and biblical state of mind, in their relationship with God, don't feel like they should be wealthy? A person can be the most religious and spiritual person, and they may feel like they're doing a good thing by not getting rich. You heard what I said? By not getting rich, because of their understanding, if you will, of money and riches and wealth. Because they might understand, well, they don't understand yet. They understand that there are some places in the Bible that, talk about if you love money, that's the root of all evil. Or whatever, right? Or whatever your race is, your gender, I don't know, what kind of family you grew up in, what the economy is like, money going up, this and that, or things, inflation, whatever it is. One might think that either they can't get rich or they should not, or something wrong with it. or they don't want to become the worst of themselves. Whatever, all these thoughts, right? So Napoleon Hill is telling us after his 25 years of research before he wrote this book, y'all, in 1939. So he did 25 years of research before he wrote the book. Over 25,000 people that he analyzed. He said that riches, they begin with a state of mind, with definiteness of purpose, and with little or no hard work, you can attain it. Like, really? Now, it's not to say you're not going to work to do things, right? You're going to apply some effort. But what it's saying is when you do the preliminary work, that's that mental, that's that getting it into your, your brain, right? Your oneness with yourself. That's the preliminary work. Your body is just going to do the rest, right? The people and all that, there's just the manual stuff. But if you think you're going to do manual things, but not do the spiritual or the preliminary mental work to align yourself with riches, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that, right? So we're learning from the pros right now. With Think and Grow Rich, we're doing a deep dive study in Think and Grow Rich. If you like that subject, like up the live. We're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. How y'all doing tonight? I'm BatiYah, your facilitator. Let's go. All right. So you and every other person ought to be interested in knowing how to acquire that state of mind, which will attract riches. I know I am. Napoleon Hill said, you right now, and every other person ought to be interested in knowing how to acquire the state of mind which will attract riches. He's telling us that it's a state of mind that is the preliminary work that attracts riches to us, right? So we have the programs, we have all this, but you can enroll in a program. Y'all can click the what in the where and join the program that I have available for you to join, right? But you also have to get the state of mind right so that you can produce results as well for yourself. And actually, that is in the program that is available, at my link, that we do also this type of work, right? Because this is the preliminary work that we need to do to acquire riches. You got to get it in your mind, y'all. You have to know that it is your birthright to be rich and wealthy. You have to know that there are people who are great people and who are wealthy, right? Like not everyone who is wealthy or who has money wants to hoard it or wants to harm, humanity or anybody else, right? Like you don't have to be that type of rich person. I'm not going to be that type of rich person. I'm going to help people with what I have. I'm certainly not intending on harming anyone with it, right? You got to help yourself first, right? So charity begins at home, right? But once you help yourself and get where then you can be that magnanimous person or, whatever, at least a good person. All right, so let's go. So Napoleon Hill says, I spent 25 years in research analyzing more than 25,000 people because I too wanted to know how wealthy men, and of course women as well, but how wealthy men, this is who he studied at the time, became that way. All right, so this is where we ended off last week, and we're going to pick up right here. Without that research, this book could not have been written. This Think and Grow Rich. This is what Napoleon Hill said. Without that 25 years of research, over 25,000 people who are successful, by the way, in some very challenging times, by the way, he said this book could not have been written, but it has been written. Okay, so thank y'all for being here. Let's like up the stream. Hey. We got Ninja. We got Willie, Brooke. What's going on? Juliana, how y'all doing? All right, leave me a comment if you will. And let's go. Okay. All right, so here, take notice of a very significant truth. All right. The business depression started in 1929. Okay. So this book was written in 1937. All right. So there was a depression before this book was written, and he had already, Napoleon Hill, been studying these 25,000 successful people for 25 years. So probably like 20 years by then. Okay. So the business depression started in 1929 and continued on to an all-time record of destruction until sometime after President Roosevelt entered office. Okay, so they were going through it, in other words. All right. Then the depression began to fade into nothingness. How about that? How about the depression in your life or one's life that you know or whatever fades into nothingness? How about that for a vision? I'll take that. Let the depression fade into nothingness. Right. Okay. So this depression, but this is also a lesson, is to show that tough times don't last always. Ain't that what they say? All right. Isn't it a gospel song or something like that? Bad times don't last always, right? So in this time, the depression faded into nothingness. Just as an electrician in a theater raises the lights so gradually that darkness is transmuted into light before you realize it, so did the spell of fear in the minds of the people gradually fade away and become faith. So we invite you to do that as well. Any fears that you have, right? Any depression or sadness, it could be about anything. Okay, what it is. The universe right now is inviting you to allow the little bit of light. It could be a little bit of light in this video. The backlight. Who knows, right? The little bit of light that you can see and perceive gradually turn up in your life and let you know that there's always a possibility out of whatever situation you might find yourself in. Because the light always turns on in the midst of the darkness. Okay, so that's a message. Let's take that. I'll take that message, and let's all take that message with us today. Okay. So the people at the time this book was written, they were going through depression and all this stuff. But eventually it let up. Okay. Observe very closely. As soon as you master the principles of this philosophy and begin to follow the instructions for applying those principles, your financial status will begin to improve. And everything you touch will begin to transmute or change itself or transform itself into an asset, right? A positive thing for your benefit. For your benefit. Okay? So as soon as you master the principles of that philosophy, that the light will always turn on and things will always be transmuted from darkness to light, even before you realize it. And your fear will become faith. The sooner you realize that and master those principles and begin to follow the instructions and apply it. So this is not just about thinking and growing rich. This is about thinking, knowing the rules, and applying them, and then growing rich, right? But soon as we do that, our financial status will begin to improve, and everything you touch will begin to change itself into an asset for your benefit. Let me just say this, because this came to me today. It actually came to me yesterday, I believe. I was thinking about some situations in my life, and this reminded me of it. And you may have heard this before, because I heard it before. And sometimes, it sounds a little, what they say, hokey or whatever, but I'm telling you, it's real. Everything works out for your good. Everything. It may not seem like it at first, but even that thing that you didn't like, did it make you pull something up out of yourself that you weren't displaying before that happened? Were you able to transform something in your life after that thing that you didn't like happen. Like it don't matter what happens, right? As long as you know, like Les Brown says, if you can look up, you can get up. As long as you're still here. And some people will say it goes beyond that. Because there's only transition in life. We always here. No matter what form you're in, you always gonna be here. You always gonna be here. Everything works out for your good. Everything. There's even a saying about that. I will probably butcher it right now if I try to say it. I didn't cue it up or anything like that, but it's basically like, you know, when I don't know if y'all heard it before, but it's basically like when it's a series of certain things that happen, right? It had to do with like a horse that was let loose. I think it was like a horse that was let loose, and it made all this damage, and it like hurt the farmer's boy's leg or something like that. And then when his leg got hurt, oh man, somebody came to the farmer like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear about your leg. And then I guess the wise sage was like, you just something like you never know, you know, if it was bad or good. So let's just not say right now, right? And then very soon after that, I think the draft or something came. That's kind of poignant right now, right? Because they were talking about that. The draft came and they wanted to take, you know, the boys to the army, but the boy that got his leg hurt was not eligible for the draft, so he was able to stay home and you know, and not go through that. So then it could be seen as a good thing, right? So then it was like, oh, so the thing that we thought was bad was really right. So you look at your life. I mean, don't you have stories like that? I do. There's just certain things that just happen. It's just like, I thought it was bad. I didn't like it at first. But you know what? Now that I think about it, wow. You know what I mean? Look at how that blessed. So it almost doesn't matter. Yes, we want great things to happen to us and for us, right? And there are ways that we can ensure that we have better things happen to us, right? So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to me, because these are the things that I'm into. These are things that I teach about, right? It's a lot about your internal energy. It's a lot about the things that you eat, right? You put high vibrational foods in your body, right? That actually helps to ensure you have a more positive life, right? So we get those things, or some of us do, right? But even when the other things happen, it still works out for your good. That's all we say. That's all we say. If you're a spiritual Bible, after everything was created in the beginning, what did God say? It was good. This was light, dark, good, bad. It was all good. Why? Because ultimately, you know, somebody's in control. All right. So that was my little spiel. I do go into spiels. We are studying Think and Grow Rich right now. But yes, if I have a word, it's going to come through. It's going to come through. Praise the Most High. All right. And again, I'm BatiYah Yisrael. How y'all doing? We are studying Think and Grow Rich. The book that was 25 years in the making before it was written in 1937. And we got to get these principles so that whatever opportunities that we, you know, join, whatever course we buy, we can apply. Do y'all know how many courses that I have bought or that a person can buy and not always apply all the information? See, it's not always about the information. It's about you. It's about you. It's about the application of it. Sometimes we just buy into the dream. But are you willing to put in the work? Right? Like we're thinking and we're learning the principles, because there are principles in this book, Think and Grow Rich. It's like it's a series of steps that we follow to follow the people who succeeded before us. But we have to apply those steps. We have to apply them. Okay? And we're learning that, yes, it starts in the mind. You have to know that it's possible. In order to know that it's possible, sometimes you just got to know that somebody else was able to do it, right? So you know it's possible, and then you start to follow the steps. And then you can begin to do these things yourself. But you have to know that it's possible, or know that you have permission to be successful, to be rich, whatever it is, right? In order for you to really take the real steps to do it. You got to get that mindset set right. And so that's what we're doing. Okay. All right. So Napoleon Hill has told us, yes, so everything that you touch, once you get these principles in your mind, they will begin to transmute itself, to change itself into an asset for your benefit. He said, is it impossible? Not at all. It's very possible. Okay. That everything that you touch will turn to gold. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. Appreciate you. Let's go. Adri Milton. Where's my husband? Okay, well, he out there somewhere. That's the power of attraction. That's right, Milton. It is the power of attraction, right? So, all right. So one of the main weaknesses of mankind is the average man's familiarity with the word impossible. Now, wait a minute. One of the problems with people, we know so much, we know what's wrong too much. That's what he's saying. You know too much of how it can't be done. That's what he's saying. One of the main weaknesses of mankind is the average man's familiarity, or average person's familiarity with the word impossible. He knows all the rules, which will not work. Shantae, Chris, let's go. Strawberry. All right now. What about the favorite fruits? Let's go. I love the fruits now. All right. Hopefully you're not too familiar with the things that cannot be done, with all the ways that it can't be done. Okay. This book was written for those who seek the rules which have made others successful and are willing to stake everything on those rules of what? Of success. This book, what book? Think and Grow Rich, was made for the people who want to follow the rules of success. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. Hey, Charles, let's go. We're studying Think and Grow Rich over here, y'all. Okay. So this book is made for that. And you're one of those people. You watching this live right now. You liking it up. You're one of those people who is interested in knowing the rules of success and following them. We don't even have to make them up, y'all. We don't even have to make them up. Okay. A great many years ago, I purchased, this is Napoleon Hill, a fine dictionary. The first thing I did with it was to turn the word impossible. He turned to the word impossible in the dictionary, y'all, and he clipped it out of the book. I know that's right. That would not be an unwise thing for you to do. This is the advice. Take the word impossible out of your vocabulary. This is what Napoleon Hill advises you to do. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the term I'm possible. You turn the word impossible to I'm possible, right? Something like that. If you want to think of it like that. But think of it in terms of, look, if it's humanly possible and it's somehow in line with my destiny, I can do it. If I desire it, it desires me. Y'all ever heard that? Whatever you desire, desires you. Hey, Marion. Hey, Speedy. Let's go. Like up the live. Y'all liking up the stream. Let's go. LD Sanders. We are studying Think and Grow Rich. Okay. So we're saying just take the word impossible out of your vocabulary. Okay. All right. So success comes to those who become success conscious, right? I just posted a video on it. You might have seen the video and came to the live based on that. I'm not sure. But success comes to those who become success conscious. You have to become aware of success consciousness, okay? You have to know that success is possible, right? Not only possible, but plausible, right? Hopefully I'll have success with this thing today. Okay. So success is not only possible, but it is plausible for you. You have to become success conscious, right? Aware of other people's success and how they did it and how you can do it too. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. It's almost saying whatever you become conscious of or keenly aware of, right? Because that's what consciousness is. You're bringing it up to your forefront. You're bringing it to your mind. Whatever you become hyper focused on kind of happens or is more likely to happen. So those who become conscious of failures, all the things that's wrong with society, or look at the quote news all the time. No judgment. You might be wondering. Don't look at it all the time, y'all. If at all. I'm just saying. Because that's failure conscious. You know they're not trying to put things on the so-called news that is going to uplift you. It's just what they do. Certain things sell. Certain things get people to watch. Certain, if people are into fear and they tune into that, they be tuned into it. But we don't have to do that. When you watch those things over and over, or whatever type of content, we watch. I mean, y'all are on here, so y'all doing it. Y'all already success conscious, right? So, but those of us, sometimes, we can kind of get into that. People get into a rut where they're more aware of the things that have gone wrong, could go wrong, whatever, than have gone well. So the more success conscious you are, the easier it will be for you to be successful, right? That's like what they call a no-brainer. It sounds like a no-brainer, but really some people don't guard their mind as much and don't realize that the things that we focus on do grow. They grow. So we're going to focus on success. So the object of this book, according to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right, is to help all who seek it to learn the art of changing their minds from failure consciousness to success consciousness. Okay? That is the goal of the book, Think and Grow Rich. To help you who seek to learn the art of changing your mind from a failure consciousness to a success consciousness. This is the entire premise of the book, Think and Grow Rich, that has been written for you. And it's free. And we're studying it right now for free. And you can also listen to it on audio for free. You can just go to YouTube and do that. You can get your own audio. You may already have it in your house. Dig it up. I was telling my grandma about this. She had to dig her book up. You can also buy a book like I did. This is just a version of it that's not edited. So that's why I can teach from it. Some people do edit their versions as well. All right. So another weakness found in altogether too many people, all right, this is what Napoleon Hill is saying, is the habit of measuring everything and everyone by their own impressions and beliefs. Okay. All right. Hey, Bernard. Hey, Cher. Okay, what's going on? Gaylord, what's going on? All right, so he's saying don't measure everyone and everything by the quote limitations that you've seen in your life. That's what he's saying. Okay. Some who will read this will believe that no one can think and grow rich. Like what? We talk about manifestation again. Ain't nobody thinking and growing rich. That's what he said. That people going to read this book and say, you're going to have the doubters. There's nobody thinking and growing rich. Well, tell that to all the people that's doing all these wonderful manifestations and prayers and all these success stories. These gurus talk about, I know a few of them. Stick around, I'll tell you about some of them. And they have success stories just from changing their mindset, just from changing their words, the things that they listen to. They have thought and grow rich. So he's saying some people who read this will say or believe No one can think and grow rich. They cannot think in terms of riches because their thought habits have been steeped in poverty, want, misery, failure, and defeat. Tell me that's not you. Hey, amazing hair. Come on now. Tell me that's not you, Catherine. We do not want our minds and thoughts to be steeped in poverty, want, because want is like, I don't have. That's the old English way of saying that. Now we say it kind of means something similar. But when you're in want, you don't have, right? That's why it's waste not, want not. That's where that comes from, right? We don't want our minds to be steeped in that, in misery, failure, and defeat. That's why sometimes you just got to, you got to get up. You got to change that mind. Okay? These unfortunate people, he called them unfortunate people. Oh, no tea, no shade. Come on, Napoleon. Napoleon Hill, come on. He said, these unfortunate people remind me of a prominent person who happened to be, now, I'm reading a book, so, okay. This was an Asian person, and this has to do with the context of this reading. So he said, a prominent Asian person at the time, okay, we're not talking about all, we're talking about this one particular person who came to America to be educated in the American ways, right? So the person came from another, place, and they wanted to be educated in American ways, right? He attended the University of Chicago. And one day, President Harper met this young person who was Chinese on the campus. He stopped to chat with him for a few minutes, and he asked what had impressed him as being the most noticeable characteristic of the American people. Right? What has impressed you, young Asian man, as you come here to study in these American schools, of the, the most common characteristic that stands out to you, right, of the American people? And so the Chinaman, as they call it, he said, why the weird slant of your eyes. They're weird. Your eyes are off slant. Now, again, this is I'm reading a book. I'm reading a book, y'all. Think and Grow Rich, right? This is in the context of the book. Somebody from a different place noticed something different, right, about the people of that environment. And he commented on it, right? It happened to be the way they look, which is so interesting because isn't that what some people might say about people where he comes from? So it was interesting how we see, and I'll get into the story, but how we can see others from our own perspective or through the eyes of our own self, and kind of like they can see us in the same way. Right. And so Napoleon Hill is saying, well, what do we say about, the Asians or the Chinese, that they obviously have a different slant of the eye than America. That just has to do with location, your where you come from, all that good stuff, right? Your genetics and all that stuff. And we're supposed to be different. Right? That's part of the wonderfulness of society. So we're not saying any tea or shade. We're making a point. I believe the point is being made here that sometimes we see in others the very thing that we ourselves are. So when you focus on success, you can also kind of garner that within yourself because that's what you'll be keyed into. So let's see what Napoleon Hill is saying. We refuse to believe that which we do not understand. People don't believe that which they don't understand a lot of times. We foolishly believe that our own limitations are the proper measure of limitations. Well, wait a minute now. So he's saying, if you have a limitation of something, sometimes we believe that that is the limitation. Okay? Just because you might be limited in knowing something in a certain resource, don't mind me, y'all, I'm pulling the stuff, in a certain resource, doesn't mean that that's an ultimate limitation. It means that you might not be privy of it. But a lot of times you can increase your success just by learning information that somebody else has that you don't have. Don't judge one's ability, your ability to have success, or even somebody else's, just based on a limited amount of knowledge that you may know or not know. Okay, that's what he's saying right here. All right. We foolishly believe that our own limitations are the proper measure of limitations. So because I don't know how to blah, 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 one might say, well, it just can't be done. No. Just because you're not aware of it doesn't mean that someone else does not know how to do it. Okay? Doesn't know how to teach you that or whatever, or that you don't have the ability to learn or etc. Right? Sure, the other fellow's, quote, eyes are off slant. He's using a point because they are not the same as our own. So what he's saying is someone else's view of success or the ability to get rich or whatever may be different than yours. You may perceive it as being off or impossible, but it is very possible. It is just now you need to get in line with that. Okay. All right. Millions of people look at the achievements of Henry Ford after he has arrived and envy him because he has good fortune or luck or genius or whatever it is that they credit for his fortune. Perhaps one person in every 100,000 knows the secret of Ford's success. And those who do know are too modest or too reluctant to speak of it. So he's going to speak of it. Because of its simplicity. It's so simple. He's saying Henry Ford got all the success. Only a few people know how he got it. And some people, the people that know how he got all the success, won't even always speak about it because it's so simple. You won't even believe how he did it. A single transaction will illustrate the secret perfectly. Okay? A few years back, we're studying from Think and Grow Rich, okay? I'm reading in chapter 1, the introduction. We're still in the introduction, y'all. A few years back, Ford decided to produce his now famous V8 motor. All right, so he decided to do it. He chose to build an engine with the entire 8 cylinders cast in one block and instructed his engineers to produce a design for the engine. The design was placed on paper, but the engineers agreed to a man that it was simply impossible to cast an 8-cylinder gas engine block in one piece. Like they were like, we ain't seen it done before. You can't do it. Ford said, produce it anyway. Henry Ford said, I saw it in my mind. I got the picture. I got the vision. Produce it anyway, engineers. That's what you pay for. Don't tell me it can't be done. Tell me how it can be done. How about that? That's a word. Don't tell me it can't be done. Tell me how it can be done. Let's figure that out. That's what Henry Ford said. All right. Ford said, produce it anyway. But they replied, it's impossible. Woo! I don't know if y'all into Les Brown, the motivational speaker. I used to watch a lot of his videos back in the day. I was an instructor in a welfare to work opportunity. We had a organization, and I taught motivation and all that good stuff. And we watched a lot of Les Brown videos. And one of his videos is called, I think It's Possible. If you get a chance, check that out. Okay. I'm gonna look it up right now. Les Brown. I love me some Les Brown. All right. So the engineer said, but it's impossible. It's impossible. We can't produce that. 8 cylinders, one engine. Ford said this. He said, go ahead and stay on the job until you succeed, no matter how much time is required. Thanks for the likes. Let's get the likes up. If you're liking the content, let's go. We live on YouTube and we live on TikTok right now. All right. If y'all haven't followed me, follow me. Let's go. Let's do it. Henry Ford said, I'm not taking no for an answer. I done paid y'all to do a job. I didn't pay y'all to tell me no. I mean, you can have an opinion, right? Certain things. But he said, look, stay on the job until you succeed, no matter how much time is required. How many of us do that in our life? How many of us get the opportunity? Maybe we buy the course, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Get the instruction and then, or try the new thing, the business, whatever it is. For some people, it's relationships. And it's just, we don't stay on the job as long as possible to get the job done. Henry Ford said, look, we're not taking no for an answer. Stay on it until you succeed. So there's a principle in here, y'all, that's saying that the more time you spend on something, the more time you spend on something, digging away, hacking away, something, even if you gotta, dip off and come back and, whatever. I took a couple weeks off doing these lives. I'm back. We still in chapter 1. That's okay. You're right here. We back. We're here. Chipping away. Something has to give way. Something has to give way. I have a book. It's 442 cosmic and universal laws. I'm almost willing to bet that's a universal law. I'm not playing. We're not playing with y'all today. We're not playing with y'all today. You heard what I said? I'm just taking a look. But the universe will yield to action. Okay? This is interesting. I'm looking up the law of action in this book, 442 Cosmic and Universal Laws by BatiYah Yisrael. Okay, that's this book I have. Just sitting around, because that's what we do around here. Law of action. No matter how one thinks or feels, it is an action. Ooh, how about that? Which brings the thoughts or feeling to manifestation. So wait a minute. The law of action said that a thought or a feeling is an action in and of itself. That's deep right there. That's deep right there. Right? But we're just talking about that continuous action, thought, whatever it is, the universe will yield to you. Keep working on the opportunity. Keep doing it as best as you can. The universe will yield itself to your consistency. That is a law. All right, we're going to figure out what law exactly it is. That's a law. A universal law. So Henry Ford said, produce it anyway. Stay on the job until you succeed, no matter how much time is required. The engineers went ahead and they did what he said. There was nothing else for them to do. If they were to remain on the Ford staff, like if they wanted to be there, they had to do what he said, basically. Y'all know how much time went by? 6 months. He said 6 months went by. Oh my God. And nothing happened. Nothing happened, y'all. Oh my God. Can y'all sit by in your life if you working on something and it don't happen in 6 months? I had to take a drink of water on that one. 6 months. They were working on this, y'all. and nothing happened. What? Well, something had to happen, but not what they were looking for. It didn't happen. My God. Would you feel like the opportunity that you're in was a failure if it didn't yield its results in 2 months? Some of y'all, I don't know, a week. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months went by. Nothing happened. Another 6 months passed. Hello. And still nothing happened. I'm reading a book. I ain't making up. They said a whole year went by, y'all, and they were working on this project and nothing happened. Not what they were looking for. The engineers tried every conceivable plan to carry out the orders. Like, they literally tried. But the thing seemed out of the question. Impossible. Now, listen, I think at a year, my God, one would think this is just not going to happen. And I'm not saying be a fool and go to what they call a dead end opportunity. But one thing you're gonna learn in this book, Think and Grow Rich, you're gonna perseverance is rewarded time and time again. All right, so 1 year went by. The Henry Ford engineers, had no success in creating this 8-cylinder engine block in one piece. Now let's see what happened. At the end of the year, Ford checked with his engineers. I don't know if he checked in 6 months because he was patient. If he waited that whole year to check in with them, I mean, hello. That's some patience right there. All right. Hey, Mr. Hey, Patrice. What's going on, y'all? Jobo, Luce, the Aaron Robert, all that good stuff. Let's go, y'all. Like up the stream if you're liking it. We're learning about thinking and growing rich and applying the knowledge of success that has been studied for 25 years and 25,000 successful people. 25 years before this book was written. Okay, so we're in chapter 1 right now. Henry Ford has given his orders to his engineers. 1 year goes by. He checks in on them. At the end of the year, again, they informed him that they had found no way to carry out his orders. Now, they tried. Now, they didn't just give up. So I'm going to give them that. I'm going to give them that. We're going to give y'all that. We are going to give y'all that. They tried. What did he say? Wait, hold on. Let me. I'm flipping. All right, so they said it's impossible. Yeah, they said there's no way to carry out the orders. So Henry Ford said, go right ahead. I want it, and I'll have it. Oh, my God. No. Now, there's determination, and then there's I don't want to say no name. There's lines, right? But he was determined. They worked for a year. If you were one of his engineers, you had to just figure out if this man is he does he have everything, or is he just bent on success? You know what I'm saying? But he was determined, and he said, "You keep working on it." He said, "Because I want it, and I'll have it." That's what Henry Ford said. Okay. They probably was like, this man is great. But eventually, we're going to see what happened. So they went ahead, and then, as if by a stroke of magic, the secret was discovered. Wait a minute. The Ford determination had won once more. What? After a year of nothing. How many of y'all will keep going after a year of nothing? How many will keep going in their business after a year of nothing? How many would keep going, working with somebody, I don't know, in their family, maybe a loved one, after a year of nothing? How many people would not give up on their health after a year of no progress, of nothing in that particular thing and goal that they're trying to achieve? How many would feel like, oh my gosh, like, is this going to happen? Like, this is never going, it's impossible. After a year of nothing, they went past that point. How many would give up in the relationship? And again, I'm not telling you to be a fool or a martyr or anything like that. We're following the prescription of Napoleon Hill, who interviewed thousands. Well, it was over at least 400 to 500 successful people that were interviewed for this book. But he interviewed over 25,000 people in over 25 years before he wrote this book. And so we are following his story and his prescription. And Henry Ford, he was like, look, I'll have it. How many of y'all say that to the universe, to your success, to money, to riches? I want it and I'll have it. All your bills paid, credit card, where? Who? Credit card bills? Who? You had a credit card bill where you pay a little bit. Well, what is it? Like you use a little bit, maybe you pay, I don't know, for dinner that night, whatever. And then you pay it off, like it's paid off. Like you got one, but you don't rely on it to like that. All your bills paid. Debt? Who? Nobody. I wanted the success, the overflow, the health, the wonderful relationship, the perfect, I don't know, body for you, whatever, the successful business. And I'll have it. No matter how long it's going to take me to get it. That's what Henry Ford said. Are you saying that? Are you saying that? Appreciate you. Let's get the likes up. Appreciate you. Let's go, y'all. That's what he said. And it paid off after a year of nothing, which seemed like a stroke of magic. It wasn't magic. It was determination. We can call it magic. This story may not be described with minute accuracy, says Napoleon Hill, but the sum and substance of it is correct. Deduce and take from it what you will. You who wish to think and grow rich, the secret of the Ford millions. He had millions, y'all. If you can. All right, wait a minute. Deduce from it, you who wish to think and grow rich, the secret of the Ford millions, if you can. You'll not have to look very far. Okay. Henry Ford is a success because he understands and applies the principles of success. One of these is desire. Okay. That's the way I said that. Desire, knowing what one wants. You got to know what you want. Like, what do you want? And a lot of people, this is why, these goals, that when we write down goals and stuff like that, and I could be better with that too, y'all. Write down goal because it helps you clarify what you want so that it's easier for your body and for the universe to do what it needs to do to get it. But a lot of us, we don't even define what we want. It's just like abstract. Oh, I want success. Like we're using the word success because it's, it's in the book and all that good stuff. But like when you really get down, like what does success mean to you? You know what I'm saying? Like I would love to earn $5,000 per month from home to begin, right? What's the number? It might be $10,000 per month, right? They say when you're starting these things, you have something that you feel like more, realistic for you to do so that you don't immediately reject it, or whatever. You can go higher or lower. There are different ways you can do it. One time, y'all, I won $5,000 off of writing something on a vision board. That literally happened to me. I could tell that story one day. It's on one of my YouTube videos on my BatiYah Yisrael channel on YouTube. But where I posted when I won that $5,000. And sometimes I think back, I said, darn, I should have put a few more zeros on there. I should have put a few more zeros on there. I literally put a picture of myself. I'll go into it a little bit. I put a picture of myself. Thanks for the like. Let's get the likes up. Hey, John, Rosa. We studying Think and Grow Rich. We're talking about how we can like be specific about the things that we desire. I put a picture. So I was flipping through a magazine and saw, at the time I was a stay-at-home mom. This was years ago. Y'all. This was years ago. And I saw like this cartoon picture. It wasn't even a real like person, but it was like a picture, work at home, something, right? So I was like, all right. So I wasn't working outside the home at the time. And so I had a goal of doing it. So I said, okay. So I saw the picture in the magazine. This lady was sitting at a computer and she was, it had money on the screen and it had $50. And so I said, when I say I literally took a pen, this is about a little vision board thing that I did and I won $5,000. I took a pen and I put 2 zeros after that 50. I put a dot, 2 zeros. I think I put a dot. No, not a dot because it was already 50. So I put 50 and I put 2 zeros after that and made it 5,000. And I took a picture of myself that I already had in the house somewhere. And I just cut like the face part out and taped it or something to the picture, tore the picture out and put it up on like a board or something like that. Halfway thought it wouldn't happen. I kind of forgot about it. Some time went by. I don't know how much time went by, y'all. It could have been months. I don't think it was a year, but it was some months. Totally forgot about it because I had so many different things on the vision board. But I'm just talking about how we're going to get specific about the things that we desire, and we're going to get back to the book. But how Henry Ford, you know, he became the master of his fate and all that good stuff, right? But you got to be specific. So I was specific. You don't write a vision board and not be specific. Say, I just want all the money. Like, you know, I mean, the reasons why we do these things, we write down, we speak affirmations, we say certain things is so that we have a task, a specific task for our body, which is your servant, not your master. You treat it well, it's your servant. For your body, for the universe and others that come into your area to carry out specifically. So yes, you can say, oh, I want more money. Or like, it's okay, but like how much more? Oh, okay. I'd love to earn $5,000 on top of the money I already earn at my full-time job. I just like to earn that with ease from home, doing something I love. And sometimes they add bring harm to none. You know, however you want to spice it up consistently on a consistent basis. Whatever it is. But something specific. So anyway, I put the 2 zeros in it. And long story short, one day I was just happened to be listening to the radio, and Dave Ramsey actually was holding a contest. And he was giving away money this one summer. And I was like, oh, I was in school. I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do that. And he was giving away $4,000 that week. I didn't realize it was different weeks. And so all I had to do was I had to just do couple simple things, get $1 that had like certain numbers in it or something like that. And I had to call in on a program at a certain time. The computer part becomes relevant. I told y'all the picture on my vision board was a picture of the woman, well, me, because I put a picture of myself sitting at a computer getting $5,000. The computer part comes into play is when I actually I did all the stuff I had to do, preliminary stuff. I was ready to call in into the program, and then wait a minute. I was ready to call into the program, and then they're doing something with the live, y'all. Hold on. All right. I was ready to call into the program, and then basically I was ready. So the phone apparatus that I had at the time was through my computer, basically. And anyway, long story short, never happened to me ever before or since, but I actually called into a radio program, was the number of the caller that needed to be, it happened to be the sixth caller, and I won $5,000 from my computer, just like I put on my vision board. That literally happened to me some years ago. And when I tell you I needed that money at the time, it was a godsend. It really was. But what I'm saying was, I specifically put a picture of what I wanted to the universe, and it happened. Now, is that going to happen that way every time or whatever? I have all kind of stuff, vision boards around now, right? And sometimes I look and I'm like, okay, they taking a little while, or whatever. You do it, you know, maybe you look at it, there are different, several ways we can do these things, y'all. Guided meditations, writing down things, vision boards, right? Your list, your grateful meditations and speaking things out, all kind, water manifestation. So people's prayer. I mean, hello, good old prayer. That still works. Okay. All that good stuff, right? And you apply these things with your work and your effort, and then boom, there's the quote manifestation. But the point of this, I'm going to get back to Think and Grow Rich, is that you tell the universe specifically what you desire so that it knows what to give you, right? That was the point of my story, my vision board story. I love to tell it because it's fun, and it actually literally happened. It can happen for you too. Just saying, it don't hurt. Get a picture of yourself. Put yourself in the, find a picture of your ideal home that you want to live in, and put yourself in the home. Put a picture of yourself in the window of the house and put it up on your wall. Hello? It can happen for you. I'm just saying. Some people do it on the computer too, Put yourself in the car that you desire. Whatever. The loving relationship. Okay. All right. So let's get back to Think and Grow Rich. Okay, so Henry Ford, he making some moves. He just did his thing, and he got millions for it because he was so determined, even after 1 year of not seeing any of the results that, he desired. But it was certainly, more of the scientists and engineers that he had that were more doubtful, because he was like, okay, I want it and I'll have it. All right. I like the word desire more than want. So I desire it and I'll have it. And he did. All right. So let's get back to Henry Ford, and let's go here. So Henry Ford is a success because he understands and applies the principles of success. One of these is desire, knowing what one wants, right? That's when I went to the vision board story. Remember this Ford story as you read, and pick out the lines in which the secret of his stupendous achievement have been described. If you can do this, if you can lay your finger on the particular group of principles which made Henry Ford rich, you can equal his achievements in almost any calling for which you are suited. Now, I like how he said for which you are suited. So it's not just saying like doing anything. For whatever it is for you to do. Like me, I could just, I like to just jump on a video and talk. I like to help people. I love to read. I love to learn. I love all this manifestation stuff and improving oneself. So this is like this is like what I do. Like, right? For some people, making videos is a part of what they, I don't know, maybe they need to do for their business or something like that. But maybe they may not be so comfortable with it, right? Or well suited for it. Now, just because somebody's not that comfortable with something doesn't mean they're not suited for it at all. They could have to work through, maybe some other things, right? But there are certain things that it's just for you. It's just easy for you to do. What do they say? They used to say this, not like on the Oprah show, and the psychologists would come on there and all that good stuff. And like, what would you do for free, right? If nobody paid you, what would you do for free over and over and over again, right? That's what you should think about or can think about as your profession. What would you do? Like, I'm literally on here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, there's a benefit like to everything, right? So some things are quote free. Everything is energy, right? So it's always an exchange, right? We have an exchange of energy. So we appreciate the likes on the stream. Like it up. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Eric. Let's go. Mario, let's go. All right, Queen. Let's go. Queen Nino, is that how you say it? All right. We are, and everybody else who's joining and who has joined, we're studying Think and Grow Rich. My name is BatiYah Yisrael. So if you haven't, follow me and all that good stuff. And we're just, stay tuned. We are finishing up the first chapter. We got a few more pages to go. And so Henry Ford has just had this great success. And, we are learning his secret to achievement, and one of the main ones is just is desire, right? Like he was working on something for over a year, well, his engineers, and he was also by proxy, and he didn't see results. 6 months, the first 6 months. Like, how many people giving up after the first 6 months? Don't. I mean, if it's worth it, keep going. That's what, and so he says you can equal his achievements in almost any calling, anything that you're here to do. That's all we saying, okay? That you're here to do. You are, here's a quote, you are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, because, all right, when Henley wrote the prophetic lines, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. He should have informed us that we are the masters of our fate, the captains of our souls, because we have the power to control our thoughts. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. We talk about your soul now. Okay. That's who you are. Like your body is one thing. That changes. I'm just saying. I don't know if you into reincarnation and all I am. I mean, I'm just, whatever. It don't mean matter. Some of you think, we only got one life to live. It's all good. Your soul is who you are. You are the captain of that. Of course, a co-creator with the source that we come from. You are the captain of your soul, because why? Napoleon Hill said, he should have said, because we have the power to control our thoughts. So here's my question to you, to myself, to rhetorical, and to you. Do you exercise that power over your thoughts? Kiki, let's go. Blessed, let's go. Tony, Helen, anybody I missed? Jacqueline, let's go. Do you exercise the power that you have over your thoughts, right? Well, if you're here right now, you probably do, right? Do we consistently do this? And do we do this enough? Do we realize the impact of our thoughts? A lot of us don't. Not as much as I think that we should. Because a lot of us don't realize how powerful it is. You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul, because you have the power to control your thoughts. So that means I need to be controlling my thoughts then. That's what it means. That's what that means. That's what it means to me. All right. He should have told us, this Napoleon Hill checking Henley, the poet. He should have told us that the ether in which this little earth floats, he got deep. He went to the ether, y'all. In which we move and have our being is a form of energy moving at an inconceivable high rate of vibration. And that the ether is filled with a form of universal power which adapts itself to the nature of the thoughts we hold in our minds. That was a lot. We're going to go back over it. He should have told us that the ethers in which this little earth floats, in which we move and have our being, is a form of energy moving at an inconceivably high rate of vibration. See this? I like to talk about this. That the ether, that environment, is filled with a form of universal power. Call it solar energy. Call it the carbon. Universal power, which adapts itself to the nature of the thoughts that we hold in our minds, and influences us in natural ways to transmute and change our thoughts into their physical equivalents. I just had to take a pause on it. What he's saying, right, is that the universe's job is to turn your thoughts into physical things. Did you hear what we said? That's what he said. Napoleon Hill just said so eloquently that it's the job of the universe. Like, it's not just something that it just does, just maybe. Like, maybe my thoughts might turn this. I don't know. I'm going to keep thinking it because it's in my mind. Don't nobody know what I think. Well, somebody know what you think. I may not know what you think directly. Well, we can feel everything. And we can see things by evidence. But the universe knows what you think. And its job is to turn your thoughts into things. You ever heard that? Thoughts of things. This is what we're studying right now. Think and Grow Rich. Let's go. Napoleon Hill, written in 1937. It sounds like it's still relevant to the day. That's why we're studying it. My name is BatiYah Yisrael. Wonderful to meet you. Follow. Like up the stream if you're liking it. We in here almost 4 a.m. Appreciate you. In chapter 1, in the introduction, we're finishing up on this. We got about a couple more pages to go in in this chapter. The universe's job is to turn your thoughts into things by what? Influencing you in subtle and natural ways. To transmute means to change. They use that word transmute a lot. All right. I like to define things. Okay. So we're going to define transmute. Transmute means to change from one nature, substance, form, or condition into another. That's what transmute means. You might have known that already. We like to clarify definitions here. A synonym of transmute, it means to convert. You know what convert. Change it. Transfigure. Transform. Transmogrify. Again, deep. Transmute means to change from one nature, substance, form, or condition into another. How many of us want to transmute our finances from low to high? I'm just saying. Or from wherever they are, mid to higher. Wherever they are, you know what I'm saying? To higher. This to more, right? So that means that you have to create an environment of success. That's what we're doing. We're studying Think and Grow Rich because these people were successful before us. This is the book that it's not the only book on manifestation or, things like this, right? Success and all that. Of course, we know that. But this is a book that was it's been studied by many people. Bob Proctor, every day since he was 26 years of age until the day he passed, rest in power, Bob Proctor, for helping so many people learn that we were born rich. If you have never seen that video by Bob Proctor, make a note of it. It's called You Were Born Rich. That can change your life right there. Because if you've never seen that video series, you should watch it. It's a game changer. It is a life changer. You were born rich. Now you have to do the things and continue to keep your mind in a state of richness so you can inherit those riches that you were born with. Because you were born rich. Okay? Like up the stream and like it. Let's go. All right? You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, because you have the power to control your thoughts. And when you control your thoughts and you put them in a certain way, the universe's job, as Napoleon Hill has so eloquently taught us and reminded us, is to change your thoughts or transmute, right, your thoughts into physical manifestations. So we need to watch what we're thinking, don't we? Yeah, we do. All right. Sweet Nay, Lexius, let's go. Lorraine, Smith, Cassandra, we're studying Think and Grow Rich right now. All right. So this is what we need to be doing, right? So, all right. So the ether, right, influences us in natural ways to transmute our thoughts into their physical equivalent. Wow. Transmuting our thoughts into their physical equivalent. The universe's job is to change your thoughts into its physical equivalent. If you like in the stream, like it. If you share it out. We appreciate you. So somebody else can be, helped and blessed by the information. If you feel like this is something good to study, right? Think and Grow Rich. So I'm feeling that right now, right? Again, to transmute our thoughts into their physical equivalent. Okay, so what thoughts do you want to change into their physical equivalent? Not the negative thoughts. That means you got to put more what they call positive, successful thoughts into your mind. Okay. I'm going to play something for a moment. That we're going to get back to the book because we have a few more pages to go in this chapter 1 of Think and Grow Rich. I'm going to play something. This video is a guided meditation. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm just going to play it as an example of some of the thoughts that we want to be changed into their physical equivalent. Y'all, I've been doing this probably for maybe a couple weeks now. I'm a person stuff like that. Right now my family, they have this is in the morning time, right? It's about 3:49, so about 4 a.m. people sleep, around here. But we have music playing right now for the people that sleep, in the house, like meditation music and calm. Like, so I'm one of those people. We play affirmations to change the vibe if we need to change the vibe in the house, and sometimes like that, or just to keep a nice positive equilibrium. But what I started getting into was something called guided meditations. I don't know. Let me know if y'all into guided meditations. And I really like them. When I did it the first time, it seemed pretty powerful. And what guided meditations do is they specifically have you, we live on YouTube and TikTok, have you to take your own mind, right, on a journey wherever you would like to go. So whatever the goal that you desire to achieve. So I go back and forth with the money and the love one, right? Because that's like one of the focuses that I have. And so On my affirmations, I do all kinds of stuff, my self-love, my, all kind of stuff, right? On the guided meditations, I'm usually focused on those. And pause that. So you're taking your mind. You're not just listening to somebody saying, I am rich, I am wealthy, I have, $100,000 in the bank. Like, you're not just playing it, and it's cool. Because if you're doing something else to play that, around, you might be cleaning up, whatever. Like, that's good. It's better than some of the other stuff people listen to. But guided meditations are active, right? And so you are imagining certain things, and they're guiding you through, right? And you are seeing the money, right, come down around you. It's like your own, surround sound meta type thing. I mean, whatever, right? 3D, creation of your own, and you're seeing. It's not somebody else's image. It's you. And the more you do it, the more real it becomes. Now, we putting this together. This is a puzzle now. Now, Napoleon Hill just told us that the job of the universe, it's my little placeholder. The job of the universe is to turn your thoughts into their physical equal. Okay? That's the universe's job. You know how they say, you got one job. People at work, you be like, hey, they got one job. Can they just do the job? Can they just do the job they're here to be paid for? That's what Henry Ford was saying to the people who's the engineers. He said, look, y'all got one job, do it. Keep doing it until it's done. Hello? And they did it. Hello? The universe is one job. I love the universe. That's why I got my universe shirt on right now. This is from my brand, by the way. It's called Body in God. You can check me out at the .com or anything like that. I'm on TikTok over here, Body in God, all kinds of stuff. And get you a universal shirt. Get you. I got the logo on the back. Actually, this one is coming, so it's not on the site just yet. But I got other stuff. Just talk about the oneness of the universe. But I just love the universe. But the universe's job is to, turn thoughts into things, right? This is actually a pocket tee as well, so you can put your little pen in your pocket. So I'm gonna do that. There you go. So get you a universe pocket tee. Okay, the universe in me. Let's go. All right, when we put it on the site, Body in God. All right, that's BODYINGOD. Dot all that good stuff. All right. So, but the universe's job is to be, you like your mother, right? Your mother, your father, your nest, right? To provide everything that you need. We have to learn how to recognize that. And so what Napoleon Hill is telling us is that the universe's job is to turn your imaginings into physical, what we call physical equivalents. Okay? Because when you really get deep, yes, this is my metaphysical channel, solar alignment. Physicality is also spiritual. Nothing really is what we call physical, but that's a whole nother. When we get into the physical, you're just getting into a lower or more dense appearing location in the universe. That's really it. But even what we call physicality is still spiritual. That's how your thoughts can turn into things. Because it's all thought. It's all energy. That's the truth. But that's a whole nother lie right here. What thoughts really are and thoughts versus physicality. I may make a note of that. Let me get my pen out the universal. So let me see. And then we're gonna get to the guided meditation in a moment. We're gonna say thoughts versus physicality. And kind of what it really is. I have a couple videos I think on this channel about that as well. Just a little short, but yeah. The universe is very deep. So the universe's job is to turn your thoughts, in your head, in the upper part of your brain, to more dense, heavier experiences, right? That your soul can experience in what we call 3D. Okay. So, what thoughts are you creating? What thoughts are you feeding to your universe so that it can do its job and turn those thoughts into things that you experience? What are you feeding it? Okay. So get into guided meditation. I'm going to take you to a man named Sri Akarshana. I'm not sure if y'all ever heard of him before. If you were on one of our other lives a couple weeks ago, I mentioned him in a list. So there's a woman. I told y'all I'm gonna throw out names of people who do other things, so that you can, learn and magnify your riches, right? Because it's not always about just one channel or one person or anything like that, right? So, and keep up liking the stream if you like it. Thanks for everybody who's following. Lord willing, more to come. Let's go. All right. So there is. Hold on. Well, there's a woman. Her name is Lisa Easton. All right, I did write it down. Lisa Easton. She is a millionaire. Okay, maybe interested. So Lisa M. Easton. If you have a note, just kind of jot the notes of certain things I'll say. And any live that you attend for me, please just bring a little 3x5 card or something, because I might say something and you might want to jot somebody's name down or something down to remember it for another time. All right. So Lisa M. Easton, look her up online. She's on TikTok, and you can look her up here. Has a list of 4 things that she did to become a millionaire. Okay. The first thing she advised, and this was when she was $50,000 in debt, I think she said. That's what she said. Okay, I think I'm quoting her right on that. She became a millionaire. I think she became a millionaire within 5 years, but within, obviously shorter than that, she started reaching success. So the first thing on her list of her 4 things that she did and advises you to do to become a millionaire. So look her up, Lisa M. Easton, after the live, before, whatever you got going on, is she listened to and advises you to listen to Sri Akarshana's meditation that I'm about to play some of right now. So you can just get a little preview right now. Manifest unexpected money in 48 hours or less. Okay. She did this every day. And she probably still does it. And this is number 1 on her list. So when I heard her list, and I was like, okay, I tried it out. And when I tell you, I've been listening to him and doing this meditation, ever since. I guess it's been like a few weeks or so for me doing this particular thing. I love it, y'all. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's 15 minutes. It's short. It's not even that long. And you're bringing these visualizations to yourself, right? So you're not just listening to somebody else. He kind of like walks you through it. Okay. Then number 2, I'll just go through her list real quick. Number 2, listen to Mary Kate's Grateful Meditations and repeat after her. This is number 3 on Lisa M. Easton's list of how she became a millionaire and what she advises you to do, to go on your journey of financial success. Number 3, scripting. I need to work on that more. I'll tell you, because sometimes I'm just like, people like write stuff down. So I don't know if you like that, but that's okay, because even the speaking and the guided meditations, that's all a part of it. But this is what she did to, and she attributes a lot to scripting, y'all. So yeah, get into it. Write down 5 things you're grateful for, because you got to get into that grateful mindset. And then 10 to 20 things after that, as if they have already happened, right? So like, I always have more than I need. This is an example. I can't help but attract money all the time. I always take my family on vacations twice a year. We love it, right? Whatever it is, right? So 5 things that you're actually grateful for, like in your life. I'm so grateful for, my home, for where I live. I'm grateful for the breath in my body. I'm grateful for the food I eat. Like, it'd be really simple that, whatever. And then you go into the 10 or 20 things that you say as if they've already happened. Like, I'm so grateful that I just took the best, I don't know, bath in my jacuzzi. It felt so good. You don't got no jacuzzi? Yes, you do. Because the universe's job is to make all your thoughts turn into real things. Now, come on now. All right. Well, thoughts are real things. So to turn into more tangible things, right? All right. So, and then number 4 in Lisa Easton's list of how she became a millionaire, it's exercise, right? Move your body, right? Integrate this energy into your body. Okay. Get it circulating. All right. So number 1 on her list was what I'm about to play right now. And I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I don't think, but I'm gonna give you a little taste of it if you have never heard of Sri Akarshana. Yeah, even if you have, or heard of a guided meditation or done one or whatever. All right. So we're gonna get into Sri Akarshana a little bit. Let's see.
Welcome to this guided meditation to manifest unexpected money in 48 hours or less.
I'm trying to see. We turning our thoughts into things, y'all.
If you begin by finding a quiet space where you can be comfortably seated.
Just want y'all to look at that money right there.
Or you may be lying down. Make
see.
sure to have your back straight, allowing your channels to connect with the divine. And place your palms facing up in receiving mode.
So this is what you'll be doing every day.
If you first begin by taking a deep inhale.
Deep inhale.
And slow exhale. Allow your eyes to gently close. As you allow yourself to relax deeper and deeper. As you continue to breathe a deep inhale. Slow exhale. Allow your mind to suspend all thoughts and to comfortably connect with the energies of the sounds you are hearing, the delta dream waves, to allow the body, the mind, the soul to align with the highest of frequencies for receiving what you want to manifest.
Okay, just a little preview. I'm going to skip up ahead. He's going to go into how you visualize lights, right? How you visualize into your third eye. And then you're going to visualize all the money around you. And this coincides with what Napoleon Hill is telling us, that the universe turns our thoughts into things. So how often do you do things like this, where you turn or where you create the thoughts that you want to become things? Right? We're not going to just have any type of thought in our mind. That's what we're not, that's what we're not going to do, because it's too important. Because when we start to realize and remember, because you may know already, but when you start to realize, remember, be reminded that, wait a minute, these thoughts start to turn into like real, more tangible situations in my life. I need to watch certain things because that's just the job of the universe to do that. So I'm going to make a more effort. See, I have to cover my my camera, y'all. Make more effort to put the things in my mind that I desire. Okay. You start talking about the money coming down, y'all, around you. Let me see.
There's coins, they're just appearing right in front of you. They're just falling from the sky.
All the money, just imagine.
Money is everywhere.
Money is everywhere.
There's an abundance of money out there.
There's
And it's right in front of you.
Come
all
on.
around you.
Come on.
As you look towards the left, you see money.
So you're doing
You
this
look
in your
towards the
mind.
right, you see money.
Where you
You look all around the ground, you see money everywhere.
So look this up, y'all. It's Sri Akarshana, SRI. It's his name, and then Akarshana, AKARSHANA, Akarshana. If you type in SRI, he's probably gonna come up anyway. And the SRI guided meditation, I usually do that. And then just pick one. It could be love, money. He has a general one where you could just do like whatever. But this was on the first number one on the list of a woman who actually she teaches people how to manifest riches as well. She gets into real estate and things like that. So follow Lisa M. Easton, and that could change your life right there. So that's why you got to stick to my channel, because you never know what I'm gonna mention and what you could benefit from. So let's look that up, and if you it may benefit you greatly to add some guided meditation to your daily life. You can do it right before you go to sleep. That's what I usually do. Whatever, start getting a little tired or whatever, and then you just do it right before you. That's the best time, because your mind is more kind of open and all that good stuff during that time and processing when you are sleeping. So okay, but you put it on during the day, whatever you feel good with. Okay, so we're going to get back to the book, and we have realized that again, the universe's job is to turn our thoughts into real tangible experiences. And so we want to, and we are advised to put more thoughts into our minds that we desire to become real tangible influences or experiences, right? Okay. Real and tangible. All right. We ain't looking at all the negative stuff all the time. We're not doing that. We're going to put things in our minds that we want to actually experience. Don't worry about if you think you can experience it or not. One thing I love about guided meditation, I'll get to the book, Think and Grow Rich, is we're doing that. I love, hey Tracy, Lynette, let's go. Irene, like up the stream if you're liking it. Appreciate y'all. And everybody who's been liking it, anybody in the hallway, because I know y'all are on TikTok. I know y'all, and everybody on YouTube. What I love about guided meditations is that you don't even have to wait for the money. You ain't got to wait for the love. You don't have to wait for the help. Like, you can bring it to you right then. I know it's an imagination, but it's something about just seeing it in the mind's eye. It's like, it's real. You can do that at any time. That's how real thoughts are, y'all. You can do that at any time. You're literally just like, it don't even matter what your bank account says at the time. You on your bed, you sitting wherever you sitting up in a chair, whatever you're doing, nice and comfortable, hands up, in receiving mode, right? That's what they say. And you got your eyes closed and you start visualizing. You breathe. You focus on your breath. And then you visualize a light at your third eye, because your third eye is very powerful. That point in your forehead is very, very, very powerful. That's your real sight right there. So when you start focusing on that area, you strengthen anything that you're going to think about. Okay. And so then you start to imagine that money. He got you. I just like it. Y'all can tell I like it, right? He got you like just seeing yourself. So then you see yourself. Then you kind of like split a little bit. So then you like look at it as if you're looking at somebody else, but you're looking at you. And he's saying you can see the back of yourself. You can see yourself with your hands up, and you just start to just see the money just coming down all around you. And it's just, I love it, man. It's like, don't even worry about what your bank account look. No, I don't know. Start seeing that money. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna start doing some things before you realize it, like they said in the book. And you're gonna start having more money. And you know how it works? There's another thing I'm realizing too. A lot of times we want more. Y'all, I told you I'll be going into a lot of things when I do these lives, or when I talk and you know, facilitate with people. You're gonna realize that you're gonna begin with what you already have. You're gonna begin with what you already have. See, a lot of us want more, but are we stewarding what we already have? I told you about the courses I done bought courses. That's why I'm just saying, so certain things to pay right now, because these courses that I kind of like went through, this was the past though, but that I kind of went through, didn't go all the way through. I'm like, because I ain't had it. I wasn't doing that Henry Ford determination. It's not seeing something work for 6 months in a year. Like I'll be on to the next thing and like the next. I'm like, you know what I need? You know what they call it? They call that the shiny object syndrome. Don't do that. I'm just saying this. Yeah. And so, but what I'm realizing is that I have so much at my disposal right now. I don't want to say disposal. I'm going to you know, I have so much that I can utilize to increase my finances already. And a lot of times, all we have to do is start with what we're already spending on and what we don't need to be spending on. That's one thing right there. That's one thing, right? That's a way to increase your money the quickest way possible. What are you spending money on that you do not need to spend? And the more you do these guided meditations, you're going to find money. It's just going to be coming out the sky, just like in your mind. I'm telling you. What? If you know how much money I just started to save and to increase just by moving things around already. This is even before I even got more. It's like God is saying, the universe is saying, look what I already gave you, my child. What are you doing with what I already gave you? Do you need that subscription? For me, it was like Ubers every night. You know what I mean? Going, you know, whatever. If I'm going to work, I didn't need to do it. I just didn't need to do it. It was just spending. It's like just certain things. Other ways to just save money. Because you know what they say. Penny saved is a penny earned. But if you can cut certain things that you don't need, you're like, oh, you know what? I had this money all the time, but I wasn't using it for that. I was using it for something. Oh, okay. And then you see like, oh, okay. And then now you can take that and build, right? You might be able to put that on more of your debt. You might be, you know, start clearing that up, you know, whatever. So sometimes you have to start with what you already have, but we begin with our mind, because the universe is going to show you all of that wherever you got to begin. But you begin with these guided meditations. You begin with studying Think and Grow Rich. You begin with like watching videos, you know, like this and you know, from the gurus and the Bob Proctors and all that good stuff. We have to begin in the mind. So please incorporate the guided meditations to your day, and even just that as 15 minutes or something you will probably enjoy. Before you know, you start doing things, stuff will just start doing it on you like, you know, maybe I could. And then you'll find you got more money just like that. like the widow in the Bible. I'm not gonna go into it right now. You know, I want to get back to the book. We want to finish this up. Think and Grow Rich, chapter 1. But the woman in the Bible, 2 Kings 4. So we may get into. I'll just address it really quick. Of course, the woman who had the oil, right? So I'll go into it a little bit because you know it's all part of it. So there was a woman. She cried out to the prophet, right? And she was a wife of the sons of the prophets. So she was within their community. How about that? And she said, your servant, my husband, he gone. Your servant was a fearful and respectful man, but now it's me and my child, and I got bills. That's what the lady was saying. She said, I got credit. The creditors coming to make my, people in my family to work for them. That's basically what she was saying. And y'all, anybody know what the prophet said to her? Prophet Elisha. This is 2 Kings 4. We're going to get back into Think and Grow Rich. He said, what shall I do for you? He said, tell me, what do you have in the house? Wait a minute. That was one sentence. The prophet, the woman gave her complaint, right? Your servant, my husband, is gone. He's dead. He's passed. And you know that your servant feared Yah, right? The Lord. That's what it usually says in the scriptures. Right? Feared the Creator. And the creditor is coming to take my her two people in her family. This was her sons, but to be slaves, to be servants for them. This is what the creditor is going to do. She was scared. She Elisha said, the prophet said to her, what shall I do for you? Now, I don't know if this was a rhetorical question or not. I don't know if he was being smart or not like that, but I don't know if he was saying well, what you want me to do for you? What you got in your house? I don't know if he said it like that or he said, what should I do for you? What do you have in your house? Either way, he asked her what she already had. Come on, somebody. This is what they say in church. We have a little bit of metaphysical church today on TikTok. Hello? Share it if you share it. If you're liking it, share it, like it up. All right. He said, tell me, what do you have in the house? Lord have mercy. That's a word in and of itself. A lot of times when we go to God, when we go to, I don't know, the person for help, don't always go empty as a victim, because you ain't empty. That's what the prophet said to her. He said, what do you have? She felt like she didn't have anything. That refocused her mind. Oh, wait a minute. What I have? She was like, your maidservant has nothing in the house but a jar of oil. She said, I ain't got nothing but a little bit of stuff, like whatever you got. Whatever. What do you have? Some people are like, I don't know. Even Moses, he stuttered. Oh my gosh! But did God use him to redeem an entire nation of people? Hello, somebody. He could have said, I don't have the best of speech. I think he did say that. God said, I know who you are. I know what you got. Do you know? But you have enough that I can work with. But you have to put the effort in to begin it. What do you have in the house? What do you have? What skills do you have that you haven't been using? You, right here, looking at this live, right here on TikTok and on YouTube. What do you have that you haven't been using? God told me start studying the book Think and Grow Rich and do it live on YouTube and TikTok. And that's what I did. because this is what I have. It's part of what I have. And part of what I love to do. She said, your maidservant ain't got nothing in the house but, a little bit of oil. He said, I can work with that. See, it's whatever you have, God said, I can work with that. But you got to bring something because he already gave something to you. She already gave something to you. See, when we talk about God over here, we speak about the feminine and the masculine aspect, just to know. Because God is our mother, father God. Okay, so I just want to. The Creator has already given you something that it is your springboard. Okay. Then he said, go borrow vessels from everywhere. Like you got the oil, now you can get help because God does what? Help those who do what? Oh, I wish somebody could type it in. Who help themselves. But we have to give the universe a starting point. This is why we do the guided meditations. You do the guided meditation now, right? Is because you give the universe a starting point. We're not going to start with the news during the day. That's not going to be our starting point. Because we're not going to give the universe that as a starting point to start off with negativity. We're going to give the universe money all around us to start off. Love all around us. Health, vibrancy, and success as our starting point of the day or starting point of the beginning of our rest and all that good stuff. So that we can start to see these things come to fruition. So he asked her, what do you have? She said, I have this. He said, okay, now I'm going to expand. What do you have? Hope somebody listening now. I know you're listening. We have to present something so that it can expand what we have. I'm about to be like that girl. I don't know if y'all saw it was this video. Her whole thing just, all right, we ain't going to do that. But right. So we have to present something. And then the universe, God, all that expands what we have to offer, right? That's all. You don't got to know all the steps. You just got to know the first step. You don't have to know all the steps. You just have to know the first step. I got to write that down. See, I write something. This is my pocket to y'all for my brand, Body and God. Universe in Me. It should be on the site soon, Lord willing. All right. This is another one. I'm going to write the date because I don't always write the dates on here. July 3rd. Yes, it's the 3rd now, y'all. All right. You don't have to know all the steps. Okay. You don't have to know all the steps. You just have to know the first step. All right. Or so you just need to know the first step. That's it. The universe is going to take you the rest of the way. All right. The universe will take you the rest of the way. All right. So he said, oh, okay, you got the oil. Now you can go out and borrow the vessels to put the oil in that you already have. And then I'm going to multiply that. But see, the prophet didn't just magically just do, whatever and give her, oh, okay, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you the money. No. In the problem, there is the solution. So she wasn't a total victim. Yeah, she was going through some things. But he didn't treat her like that, a victim. Totally. He treated her like a woman who was capable and who may have needed help. But God and the universe helps those who help themselves. All right. 2 Kings 4. He said, go borrow vessels from everywhere. Your neighbors, your empty vessels. Don't just gather a few. Right. So now he said, bring it on in. And when you have come in, you shall shut the door behind you and your sons and just get to work. Get to work. However long it takes. And then pour it into all them vessels and set aside the full ones. That's what he said. So she went and did all that until they ran out. She said, bring me some more. Her son said, I don't have any more. There's no more vessels. Then she came and told the man of God, okay, I did what you said. I filled all the vessels that I borrowed with the oil that I already had, that God already gave me, that was sitting in my house. I didn't know. It was just, I wasn't paying attention to that skill I had, that quality I had, that whatever. That all my friends tell me I could do this, but I don't know. Ain't nobody gonna pay for that. I can't do that. I ain't like them people over there. Okay. You better start seeing yourself how God see you. Because the prophet asked this woman. He said, like somebody, when I started the live, somebody said, where's your husband at? We ain't gonna talk about that. He around. He coming. This lady ain't had none. He was gone. He passed away. He was gone. She thought she was by herself. Some of y'all think you're by yourself. You ain't by yourself. Emmanuel, come on, because God is with us. Yeah, y'all ain't think y'all was gonna get a little Bible today, but y'all get that too now. I'm metaphysical, but the Bible is metaphysical. It's lessons, all kind of stuff. So you're gonna get a little all that. Okay, over here. Right? So he said, yeah, he basically told her, what she needed to do, and she already had it with her. A starting point. And then what did he say at the end? She said, basically, I did what you said. He said, go sell the oil and pay your debt. And you and your sons live on the rest. That means she would have had leftovers after she paid all her bill. Come on, debt free. What? With something she had laying around the house that she thought was worthless. Now, she did need some help magnifying, but she had a starting point. She had to realize and be reminded, you have a starting point. You have skills. You have things within yourself that you can do. You might be able to get on video and start teaching somebody. Find you a this is a public domain book, y'all. I can make so much content from this book and from these lives and whatever for free. Nobody owns the copyright to this right now. I mean, you know what I mean? There's all kind of content being made from this. You might be able to do something similar. You can find a public domain information and get content from that. I'm just saying, if you're like a content creator, right? A lot of people on TikTok, they either consume content or they create content, or they do a mixture of both, right? So your starting point would be yourself, your ability to disseminate information to people, right? It could be anything. Your creativity. Are you an artist? Did you know that artists can make money from their art? It's another guy's name, Geroid Henry. Geroid Henry. If you're an artist, he teaches people how to earn money. As far as I know, I haven't attended his course. It seems very reputable to me. Young man. Geroid Henry teaches people how to make money from their art. I just typed in his name right now. It's Jaroid Henry, young African-American man. He's interviewing somebody 11 months ago from his YouTube channel. It says, interview Lisa, who earned $100K in 6 months by grinding nonstop. She's an artist. Don't tell me you can't earn money from art. I'm just saying, these are the obscure things people say, oh, no, it's creative. Yeah. I don't know. You might have some, I don't know, naysayers. They check him out. It's not a personalized testimonial of him because I've never attended his course. I'm an artist as well. I've never attended his course. But there are things that are out that you can magnify what you already have, right? So that's the point. Okay, so that's what she did. She went and, we would presume that she went and did what he told her to do, to finish it out, sell the oil, paid her debt, and then her sons lived and rested, in peace, in terms of in the rest of their life. I mean, they lived on the rest, and also they learned a great skill with that to utilize what they have to magnify their riches. All right, we're going to get back into the book, Think and Grow Rich, y'all. Okay, and this is how y'all doing? Everybody good? Everybody good? We went pretty long. We've been let me see. YouTube tells us how long, y'all. We've been on here for 2 hours. 2 hours. And here's the thing. I was not planning on doing this live tonight, this morning. I got a couple more pages to go and Think and Grow Rich, and then we're gonna end the live shortly. Y'all good? Y'all good? Tracy, Zarice, Robert. How y'all doing? I see a few of y'all up here. I'm learning how to do this, y'all. For these for the lives and stuff. We got Evangelist. Hey. How we doing? I'm just checking y'all out. TC. Let's go. Let me see. All right, y'all. I'm just following some people. Y'all check me out. All right. So right, we got Gigi, Jamie, Cornell, giving y'all shouts out. Y'all been through what y'all been here for a minute. So we appreciate you, and we're gonna and everybody else that's coming in, and everybody in the hallway, we appreciate you too. If y'all get like up the stream, let's go. So we about 4:43 in the morning. We're gonna get through this chapter, Lord willing, and we gonna, we gonna be like that woman with the oil, in terms of her productivity, and we're gonna utilize what we have. We're gonna put positive things in our mind. We're gonna take the advice of Napoleon Hill and these 500 successful people that he interviewed for this book, Think and Grow Rich. And, take this 25 years of study that was put into this book, these 25,000, people that were studied and researched and analyzed, before the book was written, to think, apply, and grow rich. Okay. And so let's finish up and continue. All right. So if the poet had told us of this, all right, so let's turn this music down a little bit. That was our little pause there. If the poet had told us, I think I might want to maybe make it low. We'll see. If the poet had told us of this great truth, we would know why it is that we are the masters of our fate, right? So if the poet would have told us that in order to, we are the masters of our fate because we control our thoughts, he said more people would have known, right? We would know why it is that we are the masters of our fate, the captains of our souls. He should have told us with great emphasis that this power makes no attempt to discriminate between destructive thoughts, and constructive thoughts. So this power of the universe that is here to turn your thoughts into things is not here to discriminate between your negative thoughts or positive thoughts. It's not here to judge if you want to think negative all the time or more than positive. I mean, feel free to let that become a reality too. I'm just saying the universe is not, that's just too negative, so I'm just not gonna make that come true in this person's life. It don't discriminate. That's what Napoleon Hill is telling us. It doesn't discriminate. It's not going to choose your thoughts for you necessarily. You get kind of deep when you get into that, because certain foods and certain things can influence actually the way we think. Okay. That's when you're really getting deep into certain things. It can. When you eat a lot of starches, when you eat a lot of grains, I'm just saying, they can contribute to more fearful thoughts. You know, that's my laywoman's opinion, right? I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, right? But I am a person who studies something that I call food manifestation. And this is also part of what I do. It's very important to get, I said this earlier in the live, but to get what we call high vibrational foods into our bodies, like fruit, like certain green foods, even if it is a green pepper, right? Which is a fruit. It's not sweet, right? But it has that chlorophyll in it. Even the regular fruits have chlorophyll, but even the sweeter fruits are the ones that are not green. But when you get that green, you know, that's that powerful chlorophyll that is the sun's energy inside of food. And if you think that eating those foods in their fresh form, not cooked, and I'm not telling anybody they got to be raw or raw vegan or raw, but some of these foods you need to eat fresh and not cooked. If you don't think that these foods will affect your body, you have to think again, because they do. The sun is literally, as you noted, I'm going to tell you something, you know, the highest frequency of anything physical in our universe that is affecting human and animal life, right? You know that already, right? What can we do without the sun? That's God's energy. Just put it like that. Whether you believe in God or not, you know, whatever you're, right? That's the highest energy vibration that is affecting you as a human being, that is affecting the animal and all that. So can you imagine what that light, that great light, will do inside of your body? Yeah, I'm getting a little, you know, whatever they want to call it. This is real. This is science. It's not just woo-woo stuff. When you study, there's a such thing as what we call photosynthesis. We're not going to go into all that too much. That's probably another live or something like that, right? How food affects our reality. So I'll just go into a little bit of it right now. Okay, if you want to learn more, follow me, because this is what I'm into and what I'm here to teach humanity about and to learn myself, right? Teaching is intensified learning, because you learn as you teach. So it's learning and teaching together. And you teach as you learn. So these literally high vibrational foods that contain the sun are put in your body in their natural form. They give you more positive experiences. Okay. Even if you eat your other foods and your other, you know, cooked foods and other animal foods and that are more dense and stuff like that, which I do is, you know, to some degree as well. If you can lessen the starches and increase, you know, the fruits, and again, they get a little sweet, so it depends on what you know, kind of into, you know, just saying, your veggies and maybe your, you know, some animal protein if you want to do that. I do like fish and eggs and my green veggies and my fruit. That's what I eat. It do make you slim and make you lose a lot of weight. I lost more weight than I kind of wanted to in a way, because when you drop those carbs, the typical carbs, the starchy stuff, you know, you lose a certain type of weight, but you also lose a lot of fearful thoughts and a lot of other things that, you know, are not the best. And that's in my opinion, in my experience, right? And there's other doctors that talk about that, that I can get to, Lord willing, at another time. But so thoughts are not the only thing that influence our reality, but food does influence our thoughts. So it does. I have to say that because that's one of the main things that I study. But in addition to that, when we do have the thoughts and when we manually kind of change our thoughts and all that, that does a lot in terms of, improving our lives. Okay. So I'm gonna try to finish this. I got a little bit more charge on my phone so that I can get through this. Yeah, pretty well. Oh, I think I can. Wait a minute. All right. So all right, so where we are. So he should have told us with great emphasis, okay, that this power makes no attempt to discriminate between destructive thoughts and constructive thoughts, right? Let me plug this in here and see if I can at least hold some of this. All right. I'm not even sure, y'all, with the way I got this little setup here. All right. Let me see. Well, I'll figure it out. I think I can. I'm gonna think positive. I'm gonna think positive. I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. All right, y'all. Sorry. Let's see if I can plug this in and give myself a little bit more of a charge. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Bring this up a little bit more. All right, so that's what he's saying. He's saying he should have told us that, like, all right, let's see if that works. Something like that. All right, I got a little bit going on. Yeah. That these thoughts don't discriminate, y'all. All right, so it's about just doing, the positive thing. All right, I think it's doing something. So our brain, he should have told us too, this is what Napoleon Hill is saying, that our brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts which we hold in our minds, and by means with which no man is familiar, right? So you don't know how it happens. These magnets attract to us the forces, the people, the circumstances of life, which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. So it's not even just about your thought. It's about the thoughts that dominate. The thoughts that they just keep on coming, right? He should have told us. Napoleon Hill is going in right now. What he should have said was that before we can accumulate riches, I'm just making sure that it's that before we can accumulate riches in great abundance, we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches. So you gotta have the desire for it. Okay? In order to get it. Can't just halfway once. Henry Ford was like, I want it and I'll have it. So keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. All right. All right, y'all, we got a couple more pages to go. And that we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches, that we must become money conscious until the desire for money drives us to create definite plans for acquiring it. So listen, you got to make a choice. Like, you just got to make a choice at this point. Either money is the root of all evil, or God has blessed you with the ability and the power to get rich. Because that's Deuteronomy 8:18. That's what that said. Okay? Deuteronomy 8:18 says, you have the power to get rich. It says, but remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms the covenant which he swore to your ancestors, as it was when the Bible was written. Oh no, that day, this day, today. We talking about today right now. The 3rd of July, 2024. This day, remember your power, for it is that source who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Like the woman with the oil that thought she didn't have anything. And so confirms the covenant which he swore to your ancestors. So that means you becoming rich and wealthy and not worrying about your finances and all that is your duty to help God fulfill the covenant of what was promised to people in your bloodline. You heard? Come on, somebody. Because I don't know who's looking at the, the live, just yet. Who had to say who I'm talking to. But your history and your bloodline did not start with poverty. It ain't start with slavery. And slavery been on both sides. Okay? It's not just a one-sided racial thing. Because even the word slave came from Slavic. I'm just saying. Your becoming wealthy is your duty, not just to yourself, your family, your bloodline itself, to God himself, herself, your mother, your father, God, source, who promised a covenant. Like a marriage, like I'm going to take care of you type of thing. This is from God to, the people. Swore to people in your bloodline. Don't say it wasn't your bloodline. It's somebody's bloodline before you that you're connected to. Somehow. So that means it's my responsibility to become rich and wealthy and not have to worry about money. But I just got to use the oil that I have, and then God will multiply. And okay. And then I got to keep my thoughts positive so that the universe and the ethers can magnify. Okay. All right. That's Deuteronomy 8:18. So what I'm saying, you got to make a choice. Because Napoleon Hill is telling us and advising us that in order for riches to come and to accumulate in abundance, there has to be an intense desire for them. And you have to become so money conscious until the desire for money drives you to create definite plans for acquiring it. So this ain't no wishy-washy. I don't know if I should be. You could just want enough and want all your bills paid, and we ain't asked you to flex on the gram. But you need to befriend prosperity. Because there ain't nothing wrong with having money and having all your bills paid and all that good stuff. And God will still love you. And there were many righteous people in the Bible who were loved by God and source. God is source. Who had money and riches and were wealthy. Abraham, father of many nations. Name was changed to Abraham. Come on, we're going to get into the Hebrew. Abraham, the father of many nations. Spawned many nations. Not just the children of Israel. Okay? The Ishmaelite group. All of that. Ishmael came from him too. Yeah, and the people in Dubai and all that. How wealthy are they? What? Come on now. You got wealth in your veins. But this is about remember, because see, the society, I'm just saying, somebody was allowed to rule for a time, the adversary, the lower energies. I'm just saying. And they got a lot of people tricked. Like, oh no, y'all should be in poverty. I'm just going to give you all the negative. We're going to talk about inflation. Well, you know what? The people that got a lot of riches during the time before and near the time that this book, Think and Grow Rich, was written, were in a depression, a financial depression. What was their excuse? Nothing. I'm just saying, I'm not saying there's no challenges, but a lot of the challenges, I'm telling you, y'all, they be mental. They're mental. They are mental challenges. And what we're telling you in this book, I was telling you, I just looked at it real quick a little earlier. I don't know if you was on the live, but then some of y'all were, right? The 442 cosmic and universal laws, which you can, order. You can order that as well from a lady named Dottie Randazzo. Okay. Said that the law of action is no matter how one thinks or feels, it is an action, which brings the thought or feeling to what? To manifestation. Your thought is an action. So you had best make sure you align your thoughts with what you desire to create in your reality. Praise the Most High for that. All right. So we're not going to be afraid to bring money to us. I'm not saying you are, but sometimes you go back and forth, I don't know. Something's wrong with that. No, you could be the best rich person that I know. You know what I'm saying? You can take care. I mean, you don't got to take care of everybody, but you know what I'm saying? You can help people out. You can, look, charity begins at home. So even when you become the best version of yourself, you're going to be the best version for the world. So that in and of itself is a service to take care of yourself and your family. Okay? All right. So we get into the last couple pages of chapter 1 in Think and Grow Rich. All right. So, but being a poet and not a philosopher, Henley contented himself by stating a great truth in poetic form, right? The captain of our souls, all that good stuff. Leaving those who followed him to interpret the philosophical meaning of his lines. Little by little, the truth has unfolded itself until it now appears certain that the principles described in this book hold the secret of mastery over our economic fate. We are now ready to examine the first of these principles. Maintain a spirit of open-mindedness. And remember, as you read Think and Grow Rich, right? They are the invention of no one man. So no one person did this, y'all. The principles were gathered from the life experiences of more than 500 men who actually accumulated riches in huge amounts. Men who began in poverty with but little education, without influence. The principles worked for these men, and you can put them to work for your own enduring benefit. Okay? So they began in poverty. They had but little education. You probably got more education than them. Hello? And they amassed riches, some of these millions, in the Great Depression. Some of these people. Some of them struck gold, all kinds of stuff. Y'all know that 3 feet from gold. He was 3 feet from it. Then he became an insurance man and he struck gold that way. All kinds. But it's always an opportunity no matter the environment. In the Depression or after the Depression, it still was opportunities. Opportunities right now. You will find it easy, not hard to do. So it means not impossible. Even if you think something is a challenge. Okay, like me keeping this thing on my head, right? Like I want to because it's so slippery. But we good. We got it. We good. Before you read the next chapter, I want you to know that it conveys factual information which might easily change your entire financial destiny, as it has so definitely brought changes of stupendous proportions to 2 people described. Okay. I want you to know also that the relationship between these two men and myself, this is Napoleon Hill talking, is such that I could have taken no liberties with the facts, right? He ain't fudged nothing, even if I had wished to do so. One of them has been my closest personal friend for almost 25 years. That's what he said. And the other is my own son. So his own son, he wrote a story about and told about his issue that he did, how he overcame. And that'd be another live. Lord willing, we'll do another one. So stay tuned, to the channel, follow the page, and stay tuned for the next live, Lord willing. Okay. The unusual success of these two men's success, which they generously accredit to the principle described in the next chapter, more than justifies this personal reference as a means of emphasizing the far-flung power of this principle. So, he's saying I'm doing a lot of introduction and all that good stuff, but when I tell you about what really happened in this story, you're going to understand why. That's basically right. Almost 15 years ago, I delivered the commencement address at Salem College, Salem, West Virginia. I emphasized the principle. We studied Think and Grow Rich. I emphasized the principle described in the next chapter with so much intensity that one of the members of the graduating class definitely appropriated it, took it, oh my goodness, and made it a part of his own philosophy. The young man is now a member of Congress and an important factor in the present administration. Just before this book went to the publisher, he wrote me a letter in which he so clearly stated his opinion of the principle outlined in the next chapter that I have chosen to publish his letter as an introduction to that chapter. Okay. And it gives you an idea of the rewards to come. So this is going to be the ending of the first chapter of Think and Grow Rich. We're going to read the letter to Napoleon Hill, and from someone who, he became a congressman, and he was so impressed by Napoleon Hill's, commencement address that he wrote him a letter and told him how it influenced him. And this is going to introduce chapter 2 to us. Okay, Lord willing, for another live. All right. My dear Napoleon, my service as a member of Congress having given me an insight into the problems of men and women, I am writing to offer a suggestion which may be helpful to thousands of worthy people. With apologies, I must state that the suggestion, if acted upon, will mean several years of labor and responsibility for you, but I am enheartened to make the suggestion because I know your great love for rendering useful service. In 1922, they went way back, y'all. They went way back. In 1922, because this book was written in 1937, so we went back a little bit. You delivered the commencement address at Salem College when I was a member of the graduating class. In that address, you planted in my mind an idea which has been responsible for the opportunity I now have to serve the people of my state, and will be responsible in a very large measure for whatever success I may have in the future. Could you imagine one statement is so impressionable on someone's life? The suggestion I have in mind is that you put into a book the sum and substance of the address you delivered at Salem College. This book right here, Think and Grow Rich. So I've suggested you put into a book, and in that way give the people of America an opportunity to profit by your many years of experience and association with the men who, by their greatness, have made America the richest nation on earth. Okay. I recall, as though it were yesterday, the marvelous description you gave of the method by which Henry Ford with but little schooling, without a dollar, with no influential friends, rose to great heights. I made up my mind then, even before you had finished your speech, that I would make a place for myself, no matter how many difficulties I had to surmount. Thousands of young people will finish their schooling this year. Within the next few years, every one of them will be seeking just such a message of practical encouragement as the one I received from you. They will want to know where to turn, what to do to get started in life. You can tell them because you have helped to solve the problems of so many, many people. If there is any possible way that you can afford to render so great a service, that I may offer the suggestion that you include with every book one of your personal analysis charts, in order that the purchaser of the book may have the benefit of a complete self-inventory, indicating, as you indicated to me years ago, exactly what is standing in the way of success. Wow. Personal analysis chart. All right. Take a note of that one. So that they can know what is standing in the way of success. Such a service as this, providing the readers of your book with a complete, unbiased picture of their faults and their virtues, would mean to them the difference between success and failure. The service would be priceless. Millions of people are now facing the problem of staging a comeback because of the depression, right? So this was during times of depression, but this is the same. You can think of it right now. It doesn't, And I speak from personal experience when I say, I know these earnest people would welcome the opportunity to tell you their problems and to receive your suggestions for the solution. You know the problems of those who face the necessity of beginning all over again. There are thousands of people in America today who would like to know how they can convert ideas into money. People who must start at scratch without finances and recoup their losses. If anyone can help them, you can, Napoleon Hill. That's why we're reading this book. If you publish the book, I would like to own the first copy that comes from the press, personally autographed by you. With best wishes, believe me, cordially yours, Jennings Randolph. And that concludes chapter 1 of Think and Grow Rich. That was a letter that was written to Napoleon Hill from Jennings Randolph, a young man who became a senator, a member of Congress, and who was inspired by Napoleon Hill's commencement address and at Salem College. And he expressed his gratitude and encouragement for creating a book such as Think and Grow Rich. Okay, that we're studying right now. And so that brings us to the conclusion of the book, the first chapter, and almost to the conclusion of this live. Thank y'all so much for everybody who joined. And what I want to do is just play a little bit of It's Possible, okay, before we say adieu for the, I can't even say the night because, as you know, we're in Grand Rising now. We're in Grand Rising right now. All right, so we're going to do Les Brown And we're going to do It's Possible. Okay. We're going to play a little bit of that. And let's see what we got going on. They like somebody made a little snippet. And so let's check this out. Hold on 1 second. Y'all liking the live? We've been on here for like 2 hours, y'all. 2 hours. 2 hours. Let's get some little bit of music as our little outro. Again, my name is BatiYah Yisrael. Appreciate you, everybody who's been checking on the live, popping in and out, and those of you who have been with us for the whole time, and 30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. We appreciate you. Follow the page once again. I have my own brand. It's called Body in God. It's a sportswear clothing brand, metaphysical, right? So all the things that I embody and talk about, and kind of like we talked about on this live, or some of the things that we did, is kind of incorporated in my clothing brand. That information, that energy, that oneness of the universe, that everything is source, right? Long time ago, about 12 years ago, I was fasting as a raw vegan, right? So I was eating all this living food and this fruit, and very, very, very small amount. Long story, because I wasn't trying to fast, but it's just the way it was at the time. The way my finances were, and the situation that I was in. And I just wanted to eat fruit and my little nuts and seeds and stuff like that. And I only had access to a small amount. But I did this for months and months. This was 2012. And when I tell y'all, I had a vision some months into doing that everything is God. That everything is God. It's part of like God's body, like a cell inside of God's body. And I've never been the same since. But since then, I've become more metaphysical. So I was always religious and read the Bible and things. But now I had my moment where I discovered the oneness in the universe. And so years later, obviously, I created a brand. And it's called Body in God. So that's where that comes from, Body in God, because I am a body, or I have a body inside of the larger body that is what we call God or source and that type of thing. And so that's where that came from. And so if you check me out, I'm online. You can go to the bodyandgod.com, check me out there. Follow the page. You'll probably hear more about it. But this is one of our tees. It has some on the back. It has our logo. Let me see if I can turn around a little bit. Okay. It has the Body and God logo. Yeah. So that comes from the Metatron's cube, or the Merkaba, which is the flower of life. It's all kind of metaphysical stuff. But I also teach about it too. And actually, when you click the link on page 2, you can see it'll take you right to the site, or you can get some merch right there, honey. Because it's all together. But anyway, so that's what this is about. So once again, I thank you for being here. We will hopefully be going through this entire book, Think and Grow Rich, because that is the plan. That's what God told me to do. And Lord willing, I'm going to keep that promise. God, told me to read it for myself, and not just for myself, publicly. Read it, publicly. And so that's what I'm doing. And so we're here on YouTube. If you want to, follow me there as well. Where I have these videos is under Wealth with Tia. So Solar Alignment is a different page that I have, but they're all connected. And you can see the replays of our other lives that we did for the previous, like the intros and all that good stuff. And I think it's about 3 or 4 of them up there thus far. This might make the 4th. I'm not sure. So I believe. But yeah, and we just going to keep it going, because we know that our thoughts turn into things. And so we're going to think, We're going to apply these steps and we're going to grow rich. And that's it. Well, we already are rich. So it's like the riches have to catch up, to our physical selves because we were born rich. So again, if you have not checked out, right, or listened to or watched Bob Proctor's video series, You Were Born Rich, please do it. It's pretty long, so just you could just break it up or whatever, watch parts of it. It can be a blessing in your life. I'm telling you, to know that you already have something and you already are something, right? And you just need to get in line with that. I could change it now. All right, so let's see what Les Brown is talking about. Somebody made a It's Possible motivational video. So we're gonna listen to a little bit of this. And let's see how they did this. If I got to go to the long version or I can use this one. All right. And then we're going to end the live here. And for all the new followers, welcome. And yeah, for everybody stopping through, Lord willing, we'll see you next time. All right. So let's see what we got.
I've experienced a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. You've experienced a lot of disappointment. Maybe you've already given up. And maybe you just need a little fire, a little encouragement to get back in the game again. Here's what I want you to look at. There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win. And all they need is some coaching. All they need is some help and assistance, just a little support. All they need is some insight or a different strategy or plan of action to make some adjustments that will open up the key to a whole new future for them, that will give them access to the unlimited power that they have within themselves. That's all that they need. So what I want you to do is think about something you want for you, that's real for you, that's important for you, that will give your life some special meaning and power. And I don't even want you to say, I can do that. I don't want you to assume that. See, 5 years ago, when I started out in this area, I would not have been able to make the mental leap that I would be up to where I am right now. I don't want you to begin to just psych yourself out. No. I want you to be able to say something to yourself that will enable you to maintain a level of integrity with yourself. That when you say this, even when you face tremendous setbacks, it will be a benchmark to keep you in the game, to keep you moving forward and experimenting and readjusting your strategy and your plan of action, continuously looking for ways to win. So what is that something? When you got an idea you want to move on, you might not have the money, you might not have the education, you might not have the support or the resources you need. What is that something that can keep us going, that will enable us to act on our dream? What's one of those keys that will begin to help us to discover the secrets to our dream? Here's what I want you to repeat after me, please. With power and conviction. Say, it's possible.
It's possible.
That's all I want you to do when you look at your dream. Just say to yourself every day, it's possible.
It's possible.
Just say that every day to yourself, it's possible.
It's possible.
Because what does that do? See, it begins to change your belief system. So the way in which we operate, ladies and gentlemen, is a manifestation of what we believe, what's possible for us. Whatever you've done up to this point, all that it really is a duplication, it's a reproduction of what you believe subconsciously that you deserve and what's possible for your life. Most people operate out of their personal history, out of their memory, things they've done, things they've experienced, things they've seen, things that they have observed. What I'm suggesting that you operate out of a larger vision of yourself. I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value. Operate out of your imagination, not your memory. Because whenever you look at where you...
Need a little help with your writing?
All right.
You should try WordTune. With WordTune,
it's possible. Let's go.
I'm going to warn you. You will have some conversation back here after you go through the data that you've experienced in life saying you can't do it. And so what you want to begin to do is ignore that inner conversation. Well, most people, ladies and gentlemen, when something happens to them, what they do is they begin to believe that that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. And they can't see the possibility of it being any different. Example, before April 1954, the common belief, the universal belief, because it had been tried again and again and again, and people had failed, the belief was that man was not physically capable of breaking the 4-minute barrier, that he could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. That was the belief on the planet. It had never been done. But here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Bannister came along, and he broke the 4-minute barrier. Now, here's what's significant about that. Since that time, up to this day, over 20,000 people have done it, including high school kids. What changed? 20,000 people, what changed? Here's what happened when they got on the track. They knew it had been done. And because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this barrier, about this goal that was unreachable. And those 20,000 people got in a race believing, knowing in their heart that someone had done it, that it's possible, that they could do it. And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do, and they didn't, deny saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it. It's possible.
Right.
And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality.
That's right.
And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible. I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, the things can get better for me. It's possible. I'm thinking about 2 men right here in Chicago who are very successful, similar background, educated. They worked for a corporation for many years, and they were among many people that were laid off. 2 guys who were very good friends. One went out looking for a job for several weeks, along with the other one, and they faced disappointment and rejection again and again and again. They couldn't find any work, which is the story of many people across this country. One guy stopped. He became discouraged. He stopped going. He stayed home looking at television, became very argumentative and toxic with his wife, drinking beer, getting on the phone, talking to his other negative, unemployed friends. And he just gave up.
Watched this years ago.
The other guy kept looking for a job everywhere he could go. Every time he could get an opportunity, kept asking people, networking, checking the newspapers every day. Kept going everywhere he could, trying to find a job. You have too much education. You're overqualified. You won't be here long enough. He kept going. He kept going. He went to a place and said, look here, I'll tell you what, if you can't hire me, and I know you can use my talents, abilities, and skills, I don't want to sit home and do nothing. Just let me do some volunteer work. You don't have to give me anything, all right? I just want to work. I want to be busy. I said, okay, it's on you now, but don't expect me to give you anything. It's okay. This guy came in and worked. He was the first one there. The last one to leave was the best employee there. About 4 weeks later, one of the top managers quit. They were looking for a replacement. Guess who they selected? This other guy. This guy who was volunteering his time. He got the job. What was the difference between the two men? Eyesight and mindsight. Eyesight is judging on what you see. Judging according to appearances. But mindsight is how you interpret what you see. One guy said, it's not possible, it's over, I'm finished. I can't do it.
All right, so So that's basically it right there. I can't play the whole thing. I played a good amount of it. But we are going to get ready to end the live here, and just want to just let everybody know and just reiterate that it is possible. And we're going to continue to think, grow rich, and apply these principles and continue to study this book, so that we can reach the success that we know that we already have. All right. And so with that, it is wonderful to meet y'all all. And we've been here almost 3 hours. And with that, I'm going to say peace and love and end it over here on YouTube and